Hello, I'm Dodge, and this is the I Found It on Reddit Short Stories podcast. Typically, I read to you my favorite short stories that I find on Reddit, but for this episode, I'm actually going to read the first chapter of the fantasy book Zero Contact by M.W. Kaisla, with the help from fellow YouTuber, The Devil's Interval. You may remember I interviewed the author back in episode 4 of the podcast, where we also read a short, scary story written by her titled Phobia, and discussed the before-mentioned book as well. Well, now 100 free digital copies of the book is available, and you can find the details on how you can score a free digital copy of this awesome book in the link in this episode's description. All right, well, let's get started. Zero Contact by M.W. Kaisla. This book is for everyone who has felt they have no place in this world. Keep looking. You'll find it. Forward. Dear reader, before you embark on this strange journey, I would like to make a couple of things clear. 1. The world you are about to enter is not our world. Many things are the same. Many are different. For example, stock abbreviations are longer. 2. This book is in no way meant to denigrate or disparage Christianity or any religion as a whole. It may, however, serve as an example of how bad people can use an institution that is ingrained in the hearts and minds of so many and twist it toward extremism and hypocrisy. Or it may just be a fun little romp through a world next door. That's for you to decide. Let the journey begin. Temperance. Chapter 1. The girl lay on the bed and sniffled while her mother dabbed ointment on her back and legs. The mother clucked. Temperance, May, why can't you just be a good girl? I try, Mother. Your father doesn't like to punish you. The girl laughed wryly. You embarrassed him in front of the whole congregation. What was he supposed to do? Mother, I can't just make them happen. And I can't make them different than they are, no matter how much he hits me. The mother stroked her hair. Can't you just try, Tempy? God gave you a gift. You should learn to use it. Temperance hit the bed with her fist. Can't God just take it back? I don't want it. Her mother stood up. Temperance May Liggett. Don't you dare question the Lord's will. You just stay in here and ask the Holy Father for forgiveness. Then you can come down and eat when you're ready to ask your earthly father for forgiveness. She walked out, shutting the door firmly behind her. Temperance sat up on the bed, drawing her knees to her chest, her long hair hanging around her like a curtain. The fresh belt marks creaked with every sob, blood and ointment oozing slowly onto the white sheets. She would have to scrub them tomorrow. A dresser drawer opened across the room, and a handkerchief floated to her hand. She cleaned her face. They must never know she could do this too. It was all so hard since Verity left. The others treated Temperance like some kind of freak to be either feared or revered. Only Verity had really been her friend. They had camped in each other's dens and begged quarters from their parents to get candy bars from the general store. Fun. There had been no fun since Verity left. Temperance smiled at a memory Two girls with dirty faces and filthy dresses laughing under a natural bower next to the creek. They'd scrounged enough money for a candy bar each and a soda to share. High on sugar, they were giggling about, well, everything. Verity had a crush. A boy named Abel who had just the dreamiest blue eyes. I wish I had pretty eyes. Then he'd notice me. Temperance laughed. At 10, she still had less than no interest in matters of romance. He'd only notice you if you were a baseball. Besides, you do have pretty eyes. Verity rolled the orbs in question. I do not. They're brown and boring, like mud. Bleh. Temperance looked down at the candy wrappers. They're not like mud. They're like chocolate, with little lighter flecks, like a Kit Kat. What boy wouldn't like eyes like a Kit Kat? Only a stupid one. Verity giggled and rustled a silver candy wrapper. Well, if my eyes are Kit Kats, then yours must be. The floor creaked outside of Temperance's door, snapping her out of her reverie. Her father's tread. He had come to apologize, as he always did. Every time he felt bad, but it never stopped him from doing it again. Spare the rod and spoil the child. He tapped lightly on the door.
Tempe, you decent?
No, I'm letting the welts dry out. In her mind's eye, she saw him flinch on the other side of the door. Good. He was holding a tray, like she knew he would be, like he always did.
I brought you your supper. Beef stew, your favorite.
She hadn't liked beef stew since she was little, but he didn't know that. You ate what was put in front of you or you didn't eat. So, she ate without complaint.
Will you open the door, please?
She pulled a dress over her head, wincing as the rough fabric dragged over the new welts. Unfolding her legs and rising painfully, she yanked the skirt down around her waist and went to the door. She turned the knob and retreated back to the bed. Her father nudged the door open and set the tray on her night table, then sat next to her on the bed. He tried to put his arm around her shoulders, but she jerked away. He sighed.
I know you're mad at me, Tempe, but you gotta know it's for your own good.
It's not, though. Just because I didn't see what you wanted me to see, or say what you wanted me to say. You raised me to not be a liar, and then you punish me for telling the truth. That is not for my own good.
I'm sorry you see it that way, Temps, but what you saw was wrong. The church will prosper, and when Christ returns, it will stand strong with him against the forces of Satan.
Temperance kept quiet. She'd had her say at devotions this morning. She and the church treasurer had been in agreement. Unless Christ got here soon, there would be no church. Her father tried again.
I know you think I'm too hard on you, Sugar. Hell, maybe I am. But next year when you marry Brother Saul and have to run a household, you'll be grateful for everything your mother and I have taught you.
And that was another thing. Father, I don't want to get married next year. I'm 14. It's too soon, and I don't want to marry Saul. He's old. He stroked her hair, as though he was trying to physically change her mind.
Oh, darling, you've been spending too much time in town. Their ways are not our ways. 15 is just the right age for a girl to get married. Don't want to have kids too late. You want to be able to keep up with them. And Brother Saul isn't old. He's only 35. Besides, it's a good match. He's the backbone of this community. A holy man, and the best preacher we've had in decades. You're very lucky that he wants such a wild girl as you. You'll see that when you get older. Now, eat your stew before it gets cold.
He shut the door softly behind him. The stew was already cold. She dumped it in the toilet and ate the buttered bread left on the tray. Her thoughts wandered to Brother Saul. Having to marry him was a judgment from God himself, a punishment she actually deserved. What she wanted didn't matter. She had done this to herself. Today I am being joined by the author of Phobia, Reddit user Kaisla. Welcome to the I Found It on Reddit Short Stories podcast.
Well, thank you for having me.
Oh, my pleasure, my pleasure. It's about time. Long overdue. Finally, got over the New Year's and Christmas and Halloween hump.
It's been a rough season.
Gee whiz. The last, for some reason, these holiday seasons have been more draining than usual.
I think it's just because like we've not been able to do all the things that we usually do, and
yeah,
it's not quite as fun.
Yeah, it's not. Even if you're not the type of person who would go anywhere, it's still just knowing that you can't, even if you wanted to, is just like...
Yeah. See, like way back in the day, I didn't used to drive. I didn't even like to drive. Like I could, but I didn't like to. And then I broke my shoulder and the doctor was like, now you can't drive for like 8 weeks. And all I wanted to do
was
drive.
Yes. Yes. Man, ain't that something? It's like a pink elephant thing where it's like, don't think of pink elephants, and that is all you're thinking about.
Don't go out and socialize. Well, I never did that before, but now I really want to.
Now I really want to do it. That was my New Year's resolution, and y'all just completely ruined it for me. Thanks a lot. Man. So, you don't post stories that often on Reddit?
I just kind of, I'm a passive observer for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
My brain is like, let's make this longer. There's a 500-word limit. I can't. Like, I have a hard time stopping at 5, like, feeling like I have concluded the thought at 500.
I have the opposite problem. I always come up short. Always short. I don't think I've ever written even close to 400 words. But that's got to be part of the reason why I've never gotten 100 or 100 upvotes.
Yeah. Well, and I think part of it too is like, because you do, like, I don't know if you make your living doing this, but like you are doing a talking hobby, I guess. And I don't normally like it. And I think that has something to do with it. It seems like people who are better at talking tend to be better at like making their thoughts more concise when they're writing.
Interesting.
And vice versa. Just in my experience, I don't have any like scientific backing for that. If anybody from Reddit is listening,
state your source. Wikipedia does not count. No. That's what my college professors always tell me. You can't use Wikipedia. You can't use it. It doesn't count.
They always say it's because it's an open source editing thing where, you know, but it's not like just anybody can edit a Wikipedia page either. So I don't.
They maybe next millennium they'll come around.
Maybe. Depends on your college.
Yeah, we'll see. I won't be there. I better not still be there by the time it's approved.
Right.
I want out. Even though I feel like I would be the kind of person who would keep going back to get more degrees.
See, I would like to go back, I think, for individual classes, but like, no, I've done my time in I have too many degrees already. I'm not using a single one of them, and I'm done.
You have taken enough of my money and time.
Exactly.
What do you have your degrees in?
I have a degree in I'm trying to do this chronologically here.
Mm,
I have a degree in massage therapy.
nice.
Basically like prisoner psychology and sociology.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, they need it.
And then I tried to continue that into a bachelor's degree, and it turned out that was like a closed program and a pain to get into. Like you had to know somebody.
Oh, man.
And so I moved over to communication disorders and sciences, which is it covers speech therapy, audiology, and then like language morphology, which is like how speech patterns and words and phrases change over time.
I love that. That's cool.
And then when when it turned out that you can't do anything with a bachelor's in that, and I ran out of money like we all do,
right.
Then later I got a degree in medical coding, which I guess technically that's a certificate in medical coding, which is translating like what you went to the doctor for into something that the insurance company can understand.
Yeah, I wanted to get into that. How hard is that?
It's not like a difficult course as such if you don't have any trouble with like numbers and stuff, because everything's translated into a numeric code.
Got it.
And I suppose it gave me more of an insight into all of the bizarre things that people go to the doctor for enough that there is a specific code for, say, jumping off of a couch and breaking your arm.
I'd like to think it's children.
Probably usually, but there's nothing in the code that tells me whether it's usually children.
Is that the craziest one?
Probably not, but that's the first one that comes to mind, and two, I don't know what kind of audience you're going for with this podcast.
I see. Okay, we'll move along. Oh, man. So, but you're writing.
Yes.
Yes. How many books have you written?
I have published the one book.
I see. Yes.
And I am on the final draft, hopefully, of the sequel. I've had like 4 or 5 final drafts so far, which is the problem with having a mother-in-law who used to work at a college, because she keeps finding It's like, you need to fix this.
And she's going to check the finished copy, so.
Well, I keep giving her the finished copy and then finding out it's not finished.
That's why you said hopefully.
Hopefully.
You're like, I have carpal tunnel. My computer is broke. Like, the keys are all broken. Let's just call this a night.
Right? We're publishing it. I don't care.
I don't care. One less semicolon. The book will go through. Let's just do this.
But no, she's great.
She's
Like, genuinely, she's fantastic. I know I'm sounding like, oh, God.
no, I mean, it's great
No.
to have that resource. People have to pay for that.
Exactly. And I don't, and it's so nice.
It is. It is. So the book that we're referring to that you were able to publish last year, 2020, was titled Zero Contact,
Correct.
where the main character is a 14-year-old girl named Temperance who was born and raised in a religious cult.
Yes.
Yeah. I read it. I genuinely liked it a lot, and I'm looking forward to the next book coming out, the next part of it.
I'm so glad. Like I said, I'm just happy anytime somebody likes my work. I need to make it clear, I suppose, for your listeners that it is not in any way a young adult fiction
No, it is
book.
not.
Temperance grows up very fast, and I believe by the end of the book is somewhere around like 22 or 20, but it's not a for kids book.
No, it's not. There's something very mature about Temperance also. Like you don't, when you think of someone who was born and raised in a cult, you think that they are all part of like the hive mind, you know, go with, follow the rules, keep your head down, you know, they're all in other words.
Yeah.
But this character, it just seemed like she didn't drink the Kool-Aid. Like she's like, this isn't right. I can't.
Yeah, she had to get out.
Yeah, she had to leave for many reasons.
Yes.
without any spoilers. Yeah, for many reasons. She runs away, leaves the cult as a 14-year-old, and there was no one else she can turn to at that point.
She had to make her own way.
Yeah. She is a very interesting character. I immediately rooted for her. Like I immediately was just like, why are you not why are you doing this, but gosh, I hope this works out. Like I really hope you know what you're doing, because you are still a 14-year-old girl on your own doing this stuff.
Right.
God help you. Like, good luck.
You better know what you're doing.
So how long did it take for you to write it?
Oh my goodness. Forever. That took maybe about a year. And then this next one, Cat's Quest, is the name of the sequel to Zero Contact. And provided that all of my beta readers decide I'm actually done writing it, this one took me about, I really don't know, because I can't write just like, since I'm writing this series, I can't write just in a straight line. Like I didn't write like Zero Contact and then Cat's Quest and then August Rising, which will be the third one. Like I'm not writing them like that. I'm writing like, I've got some of Zero Contact, and then like I'll go on to something that ought to be in August Rising or later, and then I'll go to Cat's Quest, and so I have most of the series written, but it probably about a year per book, or maybe 8 months, I'd say.
Yeah, I completely understand that too. When I'm editing, I don't just edit one story at a time. Sometimes I'll do maybe the beginning of that one and then I'll switch over to another one, because maybe all of my outlets or whatever, my inspiration has gone a little dry. So I'm going to go over to this one that maybe has more possibilities or more things I can work with. Yeah. Yeah, I got you.
It's just, it's so hard to try to explain to people too, because everybody's got their own process.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I'm just a mad woman writing things down.
I can't imagine that not being the case when trying to do a series, right? Because you're developing a character and things might change in the process of writing the first book, and then so that might affect how things go in the second or third.
Yeah, but you have some of these like very ultra prepared people that like what they do is they just like sit down and make an outline and then they somehow manage to follow that outline straight through. And I am a little impressed and a little scared of those people.
We aspire to be them and envy them, but know that it is not in our brains to do this.
No.
Wow. I know, I'm all over the place. I'm all over the place. Just like with painting, I don't just stick to one corner and go to the right or I'm all over,
Yeah.
which is why
You
I go
paint?
through so much paint. Oh, yes. Not great at it. You won't see anything I did in the Louvre, but it's fun.
No, that's how you get great at it though.
Mm,
And being great is not really the point. The point is that you like doing it.
exactly.
I was like, and now I realize that I know literally nothing about you.
Yeah, how about that?
You're very secretive.
Thank you, kind stranger. What do you want to know?
I don't even know what to call you.
I'm
Because it
Dodge.
says Rogue here. Dodge. Okay. I say
Yes.
because it says Rogue here on my screen, and then you've got Dodge, and so
Yes.
just wasn't even sure what your handle was officially.
Yes. Yep. That's like the name I use for everything. Like every time I have to do a character name in a video game, I use Rogue.
I usually use Lenore, and I have no idea why.
Lenore. Beatles? Where was the
Edgar Allan Poe.
Yes. Jeez, where the hell? Wow. Yes, I am a writer. I'm not. That was sarcasm for anyone who can't read me yet. Wow. The Beatles?
Do
I'm
Beatles have a
thinking,
Lenore?
no, it was Eleanor Rigby
Eleanor Ripley.
or
Okay.
something. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. I had a syllable right. Maybe two.
It's all good.
Lenore. All right. All right. Well, yeah, I'm Zero Contact. I thought it was a really good book, and there was something about, rooting for the characters in the book, and even though Temperance isn't like other teenagers.
She's not as OP as you think she's gonna be.
Right. Right. Yes. Because usually you get those that are like, yeah, that are just so OP that there's no mystery.
Yeah. I guess I do have a question for you that
Hmm.
if you could have a superpower, what would it be?
Hmm.
See, people either think that's a really tough question or like they know.
Yeah, that's true. Flying or invisibility. No, I have no idea.
I would be like a teleporter or something. I've moved too many times. Like I just want to be able to like grab armfuls of stuff and just be there.
That's really funny. Yeah, I've moved a lot too. That's
But
no.
I think like the mental powers I think would be so hard. Like um in some sort, like if you have say like a mind reader or something, could you imagine, like, you would know, think of all the little thoughts that you have about people that you love dearly,
Mm-hmm.
that you're just like, oh my God, why did they leave their shoes right in the middle of the
Mm.
hallway? I just like sometimes I just want to kill them. You don't want to hear that. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to hear what people think about you when they're not really thinking about what they're thinking about, you know?
Yes. Like you want to only know the person that they are portraying to you because life is nicer that way. It's sort of like Suki on True Blood when she can read
Yeah.
everyone's minds and just drove her nuts.
Yeah. Like, I could totally see that just being like, I don't want to be around another person in my entire life.
Yeah. What are people really like? Like what's really running around in their heads?
And if you can't think of one, then what's your favorite one? Like in I guess in Zero Contact or in anything else, True Blood or whatever. Like, would you want to be a vampire?
Hell no. Oh my god, I hate blood.
Hell no. That would
Oh,
definitely be an issue. Yeah.
yes. I will starve to death. Ew. Ugh. It's so.
Oh, I have to share this. I have to share this. It has nothing to do with anything, but other people need to know about this horrible thing that my sister-in-law does.
Okay.
It's not like anything real, but we do role playing. Currently, we're playing Vampire the Masquerade,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
and her character is we're all vampires. Her character will take her blood that she's gonna like consume, right? And she'll heat it up and she'll put the instant coffee grounds in it. Like, she has consciously decided that her character does this. And it's just so horrible. I feel the need to share it.
For that boost of energy?
I guess.
I mean, sometimes I get tired when I eat.
I think it just made all of us go, oh. So she decided, yep, this is my thing.
Okay, yep. just, just the thought. I can't. I can't.
Right?
So, not a vampire. I can't even look at my arm when I'm getting blood taken. I can't do it. Ugh. Ugh. Change the subject, please. Oh.
Werewolves? I don't know. I think there's healers in a lot of stuff. That would be a fun one.
Yeah, but then they'd probably be covered in blood. So, I mean,
That's also true. Well, it all comes back to the blood, doesn't it?
it does. Then yes, I'll go to mind reading. I want to know. I want to know. Because I'm
dangerous game there.
It is a super dangerous game. And someone who is self-conscious should not play that game. They should put it back on the shelf and not buy it.
I think though, like, in particular, if you were like born with it or grew up with it, I think that you would develop a very thick skin very quickly.
Yes, I would hope so. Yeah.
Like, you'd have to.
Or wear earplugs or something. You know, you'd have something to help filter it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like asking questions. Like hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the I Found It on Reddit podcast. And cut out the middleman, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get to the marrow of what a person is.
That is an interesting. Usually, you don't hear people pick that one and then have like a good solid reasoning for it. They're just more like, Yeah, I'm just nosy, like, which is fine. But they usually don't stop and think about how bad it could be.
Yes.
But
Yeah. It's always like those monkey paw situations.
yeah,
Yours would be like a teleportation?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I don't want to just teleport myself. I want to be able to be like one of those ones that can like take things with them.
Of course.
You know, like load everything up, everything I own into a moving van, and just teleport the whole thing. Bam.
So it's not as great as, you still have to pack up your things and put them in the van. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or telekinetic, I could do that one too. Like,
mm, mm,
same basic principle, but then you still have to drive to where you're going.
yeah. Was there something that you always wanted to be as a kid?
I always wanted to be a writer, actually.
Yeah.
And, I didn't really get started until I was in my late 30s. So
Yeah.
there's that.
Yeah.
Never too late, kids.
It's never too late.
What about you? What did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to, when I was really young, I wanted to be a writer. And then after that, I wanted to be a teacher.
So you want to influence minds.
Yes. Yes. I hated school, so I felt like I could maybe make it better somehow.
That the world needs more people like that.
Yeah. Hated math. I loved English, which was part of the reason why I wanted to be a writer. But I hated math the most, so I wanted to be a math teacher.
Interesting logic.
Yeah.
Yeah, so is that what you're working toward then?
I have my associates in education, but
But I mean, is that like the end goal of college is to be a teacher?
nope.
No. Nope.
Nope. I'm like you. I have degrees I'm not using. Just collecting dust. I'll be a tutor.
So now what are you going to be when you grow up?
I am going to be an accountant.
Fun.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like you want to talk about guaranteed work.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So is this like a thing, like if the accounting thing doesn't pan out, is this like a way that you would want to like make your money if you could like, is there the hope that you'll get big and make your living talking to people? Or
That'd be
or
nice.
is this just a hobby?
This is a
Would it?
hobby. Mm-hmm. I would like to do audiobooks, but, until things work out, until the accounting degree is done, it would be a hobby. It'd be nice to have something on the side that I enjoy that actually brings money in. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not knocking it.
That's a good plan.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I should say Zero Contact, available in hard copy on Amazon, and in theory, if I can ever get to it, on Barnes and Noble as well, and on digital copy, pretty much anywhere digital copies of books are sold.
Yeah. I got mine on Kindle.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's on Kindle, and it's on Smashwords and Nook and iBooks and Scribed. Yeah.
Yeah. No excuses.
I should really have this in front of me.
Yeah. Just Google me. You'll find me.
Yeah. I'm out there. And that is M.W. Kaisla, Kaisla.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Since we were talking about promoting.
Yeah, I mean, mine is... yeah, knock the dust off. Mine as well. And I am Dodge, and this is the I found. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Y'all are already here. You don't need to know.
Never hurts to reiterate.
Yeah, it never hurts. I I have to get out of the whole like, comment, and subscribe thing. It's like stuck in my brain. And
Now, are you still doing YouTube? Because I haven't seen any of your videos recently.
I haven't for a few weeks because I've been trying to get this podcast up and running. Just this podcast is taking my time. You would think that it'd be easy just to transfer the audio, the short stories from YouTube over to the podcast, but it's not as easy as I thought. And then I have maybe interviews coming, and the interviews are kind of sporadic, so you don't really know how to blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all over the place.
Well, my family has a saying: if it was easy, it wouldn't be us. So
yeah, I mean, if it was easy, it would be boring. That's true.
yeah.
All right, Kaisla. It has been a joy having you on. Thank you so much for taking your time and spending it with us.
It's been great to be here.
And thank you for joining me on the I Found It on Reddit Short Stories podcast. I am Dodge, and I will catch you on the next page.